Welcome everybody. This is Allison Bonella from Allison B Coaching. I'm going live this morning because I have a trending topic that's kind of near and dear to my heart, and I wanted to discuss it online with everyone. I don't know if you're aware of what's been going on with Tuskegee University, but they have sent out to their incoming students their updated, revised dress code. And it has created controversy. And when I first heard about it, my first question was, well, what is it in this dress code that's creating so much controversy? And I looked it over and I thought to myself, I'm not getting it. I must be missing something because where is the controversy? I don't see it. But I wanted to weigh in a little bit on it. And one of the things that I thought about is, do I really need to weigh in on it? I mean, is this even in my area of expertise? And it came down to the fact that for those of you who aren't aware, in addition to being a professional life strategist that works with work-life balance issues and healthy relationship issues, I also teach etiquette to students in the public school. And I've done a program for many years as a mentor with my own program, and then working with some other organizations where I do a program called the Refined Student, and I bring etiquette to the students and I teach them about it. And basically what I do is I teach them how to be socially appropriate, how to operate in settings and know what is the best way to navigate those settings. It relieves a lot of anxiety, it builds confidence, and it allows them to feel more, competent and confident as they go into different situations. So, so when I heard about the Tuskegee situation, I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, these are adults. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. I heard a joke a couple of days ago that I thought applied to this situation. All right, I'm terrible at telling jokes, but I'm going to try to not botch this one up. What is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? I'm pausing here, giving you a minute to ponder it. What is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? If you know that, feel free to put it in the chat. If you don't know it, I'm going to tell you right now. The difference between knowledge and wisdom is knowledge says a tomato is a fruit. Okay, so you learn that. A tomato is a fruit. You've got knowledge. Wisdom says you don't use tomatoes in fruit salad. That is the difference. The difference is when you have knowledge and you apply it appropriately. You make things with tomatoes, but you don't make fruit salad, even though it's labeled a fruit. And I feel like, going back to the Tuskegee situation, I feel like we're sending students to college with knowledge. At least I hope and pray that they're going there with knowledge. I have a lot of friends who are teachers, and I know they're doing their hardest to infuse knowledge into these students. These students had enough knowledge to get accepted into a university. So they had to have something going on up here. They had knowledge. However, I feel like we've fallen short, and we're sending these students up to college with a lot of knowledge, but they are certainly lacking wisdom. Wisdom would tell you that the things that the attire that you wear to go to sleep at night should not be the same attire you wear to enter a classroom. Tell me what pajamas, bedroom slippers, bonnets, what are they doing in a classroom in a university? I think even elementary students would know, oh, no, I need to change into day wear to go out. Unfortunately, this is a situation that Tuskegee University is facing. And I'm sure not only Tuskegee, but many other universities are facing. Dress codes are not something that's new. Airlines have them, cruise ships have them, restaurants have them. The fact that they have to have these dress codes is is very telling. It tells you that the patrons of these establishments don't know what's appropriate. I love my Victorian era and Edwardian era stories and romances and things like that. I'm always fascinated by the fact that they had to have a morning coat, they had to have dinnerware, they had to have walking dresses. They had clothing for almost every event and every time of the day. Can you imagine having to change 3 or 4 times a day just to be able to navigate a society? Well, we've come a long way from that. We're not that bad off these days. I mean, pretty much we have the clothes we wear in the house and the clothes we wear outside the house. And maybe for me, when I go, do gardening, I have something I throw on that I don't mind getting stained and dirty. But I mean, I don't have to wear a whole bunch of different things. So I don't think we're asking too much of our students to be able to say, listen, you get out of bed in the morning, you fix your hair. Now, this morning, I just sleeked my hair back, okay? This is as simple as it gets. This is professional. So I don't want to hear that, oh, well, wait a second, it's African American hair and it takes a lot of time and so forth. If you don't have the time for the poof poof, well, you pull it back. You should be able to maintain your appearance with some basic things. All right. So you shouldn't just roll out of bed. I'm Caribbean. We call it yampi in your eye. You have whatever that's called, boogers in your eye, I think Americans call it. You should be able to brush your teeth, wash your face, take care of your hair, throw something decent on. Guys, it's not a fashion show. It shouldn't take 2 hours to prep yourself to go to a class, but certainly it should take a few minutes. So Tuskegee had to come up with this dress code to let them know they don't want slippers, bonnets, do-rags, revealing clothing, and cell phone use in the classroom. And they were requiring professional attire for certain university events and business functions. That's something, again, I say to myself, why are we even explaining this to students who had enough knowledge to get an acceptance letter to a university? All right, so the idea controversy means that there's been a divided response. Again, you clearly hear what side I am on this response. But, I applaud the university for putting it out there. I'm saddened that they even had to put it out there. I'm saddened that the airlines have had to do the same thing recently. The cruise ships have had to do the same thing. Our restaurants have done it for many years. But I'm sad that more and more organizations and more individual, settings have had to say, okay, listen, it has gone way too far. You can't come into my establishment with everything hanging out. You do need to put on a jacket. You do need to wear clothing that, people don't have to avert their eyes. You have to be respectable. Part of some of the naysayers say, well, why is a college regulating behavior and students' clothing choices? They're saying, well, what if people can't afford to do certain things? It puts an undue barrier, an undue burden on certain people, or maybe it limits cultural identity. As I said to you earlier, it doesn't take a lot to, again, just slick your hair back, wash your face. I don't have tons of makeup on. There is basic that you could do. If you want to do a little bit more, do a little bit more. But I don't think Tuskegee is asking you to go above and beyond. I think they're asking you to just have basic hygiene, basic etiquette. I use the word etiquette because to me, that's the heart of it. Etiquette is about allowing others to feel comfortable in your presence. And yes, that might mean you may have to modify some of your behaviors. Maybe you are not so loud in a setting that requires maybe a calmer demeanor. If you go to church, you shouldn't be screaming, yelling across the room, hee-heeing all over the place. There's a time and a place for that. If you're at a baseball game, that's a different setting. You need to read the room. Learn to modify your behavior in a way that respects the setting that you are entering. I understand about individuality, and I understand everybody wants to be who they are. But yes, you could apply a certain level of personal identity into what's going on. But in the same manner, don't respect the environment that you're going into. If you're in an academic educational environment, people are there to learn. People are not there to watch your booty hang out of your shorts. You know, people are there to learn. They're not there to, I can't even imagine what's going on in the universities today. One of the things about etiquette, when I use the word etiquette, people think it's misunderstood as a collection of outdated rules, social rules. But again, in reality, and this is what I teach my students, etiquette is just about making other people feel comfortable in the way you present yourself and how you communicate with them. It demonstrates respect. And I think how you dress and how you present yourself tells people within the first 7 seconds, they've already determined who you are, and you haven't even said a word yet. If you learn how to manage your presentation, you're able to display greater emotional intelligence. They say dress for success. Yeah, dress for success. Show that you have social awareness, show that you have confidence, and that you could be adaptable. I could dress to go into a boardroom today and be on the tennis courts in the afternoon and be in a more party environment in the evening. You should be able to navigate. You should be flexible enough to be able to do that. If we're preparing out students for the professional world, their employers are going to recognize that, and they're going to value it. It's going to make them more marketable. These skills, I think, can be taught in elementary, middle, and high school. It saddens me that they have to be enforced in college. It appears that universities are increasingly becoming responsible for teaching life skills. And that maybe there is a gap in the families and the communities or the homes and the home environments that these students are coming from, because that's really where that should have been learned. I mean, you go to school to learn technical stuff, you learn, skills that are for employment. Wow, they're now having to take their time to teach you stuff that your mama should have taught you. Well, what else do I have to say about this? I just, again, I'm saddened, but I believe that if we go back to Proverbs 22:6, it reminds us that we should train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. So if Tuskegee University and many other universities and many other environments are now saying that, hey, listen, I'm seeing young adults who don't know how to conduct themselves outside of maybe their home environment. I need to now put up a set of rules to get them to understand that. If that's what's going on, I'd say we need to bring back social graces and etiquette training in the elementary, middle, and high school, because clearly there's a group that's not getting it in their home environments. Let us start to actually teach our children. It goes beyond, yes, it goes beyond please and thank you. It now goes to, wait a second, why are we raising our voice? Is this the right environment to be that loud in? Wait a second, let's look at our clothing. We are heading off to this place. Is this the right clothing for that place? And if not, show me the right clothing to wear to Walmart. Show me the right clothing to wear to hang out at the basketball uh, field with your friends, at the basketball court with your friends. We need to start sitting down our students and letting them know these things coming up. Even young girls, sometimes I think, they have makeup as if they're going to a club and they're coming to high school. Why do you have club makeup on your face and you're going to high school? And I'm getting off on a tangent. You could say I'm passionate about this. I want our young people to have great relationships with everybody they engage with, whether it's on a personal level or a professional level. And in order to do that, they have to learn the skills of reading the room and understanding the kinds of environments that they're in and what's required. And then they have to understand, no, the environment doesn't have to change for you. We're not sending out a bunch of entitled young people. No, if they really want to be in that environment, they have to understand what it requires of them to adjust so they can adapt to the environments they want to be in. Remember, they say dress for the position that you want to be in. If you're dressing down, I guess maybe that's where you want to live. In which case, why are you at Tuskegee University or at any university for that matter? If you want to elevate yourself and elevate your presentation, start early. Start our kids early. Dress them for success even early. And we're not talking about it takes a lot of money. Some of that stuff that these kids are wearing today that's all torn up and ripped up, when I look at the price of those things, the stuff that's not ripped up is cheaper. I'd say get the stuff that's not ripped up and rip it up myself. But again, I'm going off on a tangent. So let me end it by saying I'm not mad at Tuskegee. I am with Tuskegee on this. And if you as a parent feel that Tuskegee is wrong, I challenge you to sit with your young adults and ask them about being socially appropriate. Do they know how to do it? Do they have the skills? Are they able to read the room and understand what's required in any environment? And what environments do they want to be comfortable in? That may be another conversation. Anyhow, this is Allison Bonelli, your professional life strategist, inviting you to dream big, set goals, and take action. And I will talk to you another time. Leave in, if you catch us in the recap, leave in the comment section what your thoughts are with regards to the Tuskegee situation. It's okay to have a different opinion, but please, with all opinions, be respectful. Thank you. If you found value in today's live stream, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of wisdom, strategy, or real talk. Want even more? I drop content regularly over on Substack, devotionals, insights, and practical tools to keep you grounded and growing. The link is in the description, so be sure to check it out and subscribe there too. Thank you again for hanging out with me. Until next time, stay focused, stay faithful, and keep showing up.